What's up, YouTube? We are back once again with episode 55 of the Super Deformed Gamescast, and I am very excited tonight. We always love having developers on, and the developer of one of my favorite games of this year is on with us, Chris, who is, now let me get this right, you are the creative director of, I know that you're the head of Red Hook, but you're also the creative director of Darkest Dungeon, am I right?
Correct. Yeah, we formed Red Hook, my business partner Tyler Sigmund and I, and we just set it up to be able to make Darkest Dungeon, so we each sort of have production roles and then like business roles.
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. Well, hey, man, look, welcome to the show, dude. Seriously, I can't thank you enough for joining us.
Thanks for having me, man. I'm always happy to talk about our game. So
I was super stoked to learn that you were coming off this, man. So that's fucking awesome. And by the way, you can swear as much as you want on this podcast.
It's an understatement.
Thank God.
That's
okay.
Yeah. Our language is colorful.
Having kids did nothing to rein in my tirade of swearing.
Yeah,
no change.
My 8.5-year-old already talks like a Marine. So I won't get into some of the shit he's gotten into, but
wait till he gets on Xbox Live.
Yeah, he's primed, dude. He's ready to roll on Xbox Live, and he sounds just like one of those 12-year-olds.
Perfect.
So Brandon, welcome back. This is your, I want to point out to everybody watching, we've been doing this for over a year now, and Brandon has only missed 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Only 2. Yeah, he's dedicated, much more dedicated than that flunky character.
Oh yeah, okay. All right.
I gotta tell you though, dude, I'm happy you're here because I thought we were going to lose you tonight.
This is going to be my last one for a while. I am moving to a faraway land known as Fallout New Vegas, and going to explore the wasteland there a little bit. But I hope to be back once I.
I'm sorry. I just had an image of you like walking through the desert and like finding a chicken sandwich somewhere and picking it up and like turning it over and eating some potted meat.
Find my bottle caps.
Popping your Rad-X, drinking that water.
Yep. So glad to be here though.
And I think this is the the second or third time we've had After Hours Jeff and Flunky on at the same time. So that makes me really happy.
I don't know what is going on. This is not allowed.
All right. Yeah. Jeff, can you hear us, dude?
I think he's muted.
Are you muted, dude? We can't hear you at all.
That's what we get for not doing a sound check before we went live.
Test. Can you guys hear me?
There we go. There's that sweet voice of yours. What's up, man?
I was going to say, when I was in Vegas a few years ago, we went dune buggy racing, and the guys who were like running the show, they looked exactly like Raiders, man. I was sure they were going to mug us and like take all our shit.
The only thing that would have made that more perfect if you'd been playing the soundtrack to Mad Max when the spike cars are going over the dunes.
That was basically it was basically that in real life. It was crazy.
That's amazing. Well, awesome. I'm glad both you guys are on at the same time. And we've got our favorite college student, Matt, who looks like he's sitting in prison.
Yeah, as always.
It's. I gotta ask you. I gotta talk. Like, dude, put a picture on the wall.
I gotta do something.
He's in that basement that you see with the GameCube and the Iwata photo. That's his.
He's got first JT had this problem before you came on the show.
I got some Star Wars stuff back there now.
For anybody who doesn't listen, like Flunky for the longest time was sitting in this sterile room.
Got some Rocket League art.
He looked so sad and alone in there, and I was like, dude, please put some artwork on the wall.
I've got my world famous GTA 5 poster.
Yeah. That's the only reason that people listen to the podcast is a GTA 5 poster. But okay, thank you, Matt. That fucking room, dude. Jesus Christ, it's so sad.
Either that or like double down and get some cracked, gyprock and sweat stains on the wall. Like really embrace the like insane asylum kind of vibe.
Just straight up murder
someone.
I'll tell you what though. Don't do this if you're sitting in a empty room like that. Don't.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, don't do that. That's not a good look. But Gabe is also going to be joining us here in a minute, and Steve is going to be joining us as well, according to him. So hopefully they're able to get in here. But anyway, thanks to everybody for tuning in. What we normally do, as everybody knows, is we go around the panel and we talk about what we've been playing this week, and then we get kind of into the issues of the week. But what we're going to do first is we're going to ask Chris a few questions about Darkest Dungeon. And I know the panel is just full of really intelligent, mature mature questions for our guest here, like
Excellent.
we always do.
Yeah.
I'm spoiler alert.
Should I get my pipe and bathrobe on?
Yeah. Get a glass of brandy.
Yeah.
Nice.
Smoking jacket. And sit down with your corncob pipe and have a really intellectual conversation.
Sort of an intellectual fisherman vibe, is that?
Yeah, no, that's good. I like that. Roll with that. We've got to get some people in the chat. Guys, by the way, throw out some questions for Chris, and we'll ask them as long as they are non-vulgar, well, semi-vulgar, and have to do with Darkest Dungeon. Don't ask him his opinion on politics or anything, because we don't talk politics on the show.
Thank God.
So anyway, Chris, I'll start off. As a huge fan of Bloodborne, I really loved the kind of Lovecraftian feel to that game, and Darkest Dungeon really wears its eldritch influences on its sleeve. And I was wondering, like, are you a huge H.P. Lovecraft? Like, what made you think I really kind of wanted to explore that mythos for my game?
That's a good question. Wow, it's a big one too to open with. But yeah, I've actually never played Bloodborne. As surprising as it might be. Yeah, I know. Everyone tells me I should. I believe everyone. It's like I haven't watched Game of Thrones. I'm sure it's fantastic. I just haven't totally had the time to slot that in. Yeah, I know. It's appalling. But
making games isn't easy. It takes time.
Yeah, I'm saying the irony of making games is that you end up with less time to play them. Especially when you're sort of going all in with your savings and trying to keep your family above water. It's like you feel kind of guilty if you're going to blow like 40 hours, in the wasteland. Bottle caps don't pay the rent, right?
Yes.
So yeah, for Dungeon, I've always been a huge like pulp horror H.P. Lovecraft fan. I've got like just hundreds of those old like 1970s Hammer horror movies. I just love that like overwrought kind of gothic vibe, and I've read a lot of Lovecraft, and I just love I love the cosmic horror. I love that it's not really about the monster; it's about what the monster means for you, and just the insignificance of mankind. I think is a really cool theme. And so yeah, we started talking, Tyler and I, about this game a couple of years ago, and we're like, what if we just took Lovecraft out of the 20s and made it into like the 1680s or this ambiguous sort of medieval time set, and we just thought there was like a lot of opportunity there to have some fun with like fantasy tropes mixed with the sort of horror pulp kind of stuff as well.
That's awesome. I've got like a billion other questions, but I don't want to hog everything, so somebody else throw a question or quiz, because I've got like, hopefully you guys don't ask one that I want to ask, but anyway, fire away. Hey, who here on the panel has played Darkest Dungeon aside from me?
Played about an hour of it.
Yeah, I played like 10 hours in early access.
Okay, somebody fire a question to Chris there. Well, don't everybody call me.
I mean, I really don't have any.
Okay, well, I'll ask another one. I could ask questions for days about this. One of the things I thought was really cool about the game, and this is speaking as somebody who has suffered from PTSD in combat and knows what it's like to feel the stress of combat. I thought the stress system in the game was really, really awesome, and it's something that I'd never seen done before. And I was wondering, one, what made you decide to put something like that in, and two, is that drawn from any kind of real world experience? Like, have you ever had that issue where you're like, I'm dealing with so much stress right now, and holy shit, what if I put this in the game? Like kind of where was that born?
Well, I mean, thank you for somebody who's gone through that and actually, and feels like we gave a good representation of it in game. I appreciate that. I haven't been into combat, but we looked around at things like Band of Brothers or Aliens, like movies where a small group of people were put under extreme pressure, and we were just interested in sort of looking at the impact that stress has in a small group and how one person can set another person off. So like movies like I mentioned, also The Thing, like the original John Carpenter Thing, is really good for that. But more to the point, we kind of drew a lot of inspiration from like, our time as managers in video games. Like, it's a very deadline driven industry. And there's a lot of like, sort of suggested / mandatory overtime. It's just kind of endemic in the whole system. And so when you're pushing to final a game, there's a lot of hours. People get wound down. the stresses can be pretty intense. And so we kind of just looked around and watched, like, some people flake out. They start taking really long lunches. They're always sick. Other people just like buckle down and get all the work done. And it isn't really a comment on, whether or not overtime is a valid like production strategy or really a comment on mental illness. It was more just an exploration of, the dynamics in a group that change based on how stressful a situation might be. And if we could kind of create something entertaining, but not cheapen it in a way. So a lot of games have modeled morale, like especially a lot of like war games, they model morale in your troops. And a lot of horror games have modeled just sanity, like a straight sanity meter. But we felt like just the 0 to 100 wasn't sophisticated enough. So but it's also easy to grasp a meter. So we've got one in there. But then the effects of maxing it out are randomized, and you're never quite sure, if anything, what's going to happen when a character is like afflicted. So we wanted that sort of unpredictability to force players to kind of have to think on their feet and work with imperfect resources, which is what management is about, really. Like, you can't depend on people to do exactly what you tell them every time you tell them to do something. So we really liked the idea of just, you're working with flawed kind of tools, basically. Vulnerable kind of heroes.
And to kind of build upon that, one thing I thought was really cool is, talking about the stress system, is that not only do your characters get stressed inside a battle, but they also develop these quirks. Like, for example, my poor occultist that I wrote about in my review, that's the other thing too, is like when these guys die, like you feel it.
Yeah, it sucks, especially if they're like level 4 or 5. Like, it's brutal. Totally.
Dude, my Wasavon
reminded me of like XCOM.
Yeah, but you can't reload in our game, so we're even more of assholes.
Yeah,
but we're both poker fans, right? And I like the idea of trying to get some of that high stakes poker kind of vibe in there, where you're playing with something that represents like a significant time investment. So missteps and misfortune like are something that as a player you're super aware of, and it kind of puts you in the same headspace as the characters. Like, they're stressed out about like eldritch horrors and whatever, but you're stressed out about losing them, and so you're kind of invested in whatever's happening on screen, and it worked pretty well to kind of sync up the mindset of the player to what was sort of happening on screen.
Well, and like, one of the really cool things about the game for me was, there's so much to, like, I spent almost as much time managing my party in the Hamlet as I did actually getting through each dungeon, because if you've got to send you got to send your guys to church or to pray, or sometimes, like Wasavon, he would only get drunk. He's like, I don't want to pray, I don't want to whip myself, I don't care about chicks, I just want to go and get toasted. And so he would only get wasted. And it's one of those things where, like, gold is so hard to come by in the game, and when you go out to go through whatever dungeon, you have to spend so much shit on torches and food and bandages that, like, there's nothing left. So I was like, sorry, dude, I don't have enough money to send you to get some therapy, so you're just going to be a fucking alcoholic. And
that's just going to be your jam for a little while.
You're going to be, you're going to be like my dad. You're just going to drink all the time and not care about anything. So, and it's one of those things where, like, when I lost him, it was so fucking crazy. Like, I remember I was in the darkest dungeon, right? I was at the end, and I was fighting the Shuffling Horror. I'll never forget it. I was fighting the Shuffling Horror. He's like one of the last bosses in the game, and I had my fucking leper and Wasavon, my occultist, and my Vestral, and my highwayman, who's Dismas, who's like from the very beginning of the game. I kept him all the way through, and Wasavon had a fucking heart attack in the middle of battle. Like, he couldn't take it. He just had a fucking heart attack. And I tried to heal him, and he was like, "Nah, man, don't worry about me." He just would not let me heal him. And so I healed my leper, and then Wasavon died. And my leper killed the Shuffling Horror. And I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Like, god damn it. I was right at the very end, and he was one of 2 characters I lost the entire game. And
that's it, eh? That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, really, dude.
That's all. And I'll tell you what else.
Dungeon Master.
Dude, like, everybody knows that I love the Souls games, and this was harder than Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Well, it's more unpredictable. I mean, we get the Dark Souls comparison sometimes. A lot of times we hear that it's like turn-based Dark Souls. But like we use RNG and like the swings and how much damage you're doing and the sort of relative misfortune that you can kind of endure as a way of like forcing players to deal with the unpredictability. So in that sense, it's always going to be, it's a less predictable, difficult experience, whereas Dark Souls is a more like technical, difficult experience. Like once you master the combat, you're extremely powerful in Dark Souls, but because of the random nature of some of the things in Darkest Dungeon, you can never master it. Like you can get extremely really good at it and learn about each dungeon and each enemy type, but there's always going to be a margin of sort of unpredictability in our game.
So it's not going to take the speedrun community by storm.
No, I don't think so. It's not really like a super speedy game, to be honest.
Although there is a trophy and an achievement for clearing the game in how many weeks? Game time? I think it's like 96 weeks.
Yeah. And people are down to 75. I think the record is 72. Like I'm not setting that record.
It's one of those games where like one wrong move can spell doom for your entire fucking party. And a lot of games, like you read that in a lot of reviews, like one wrong move could spell defeat, but in Darkest Dungeon it's true. And if anybody in chat has not played Darkest Dungeon, it's seriously go fucking pick it up. It's an amazing game, and it's a great example of how your gaming experience doesn't have to be AAA. I've played more non-AAA games this year than I have AAA games, and I've loved almost every single one of the indie games far more than any other AAA experience I've had this year. That's just how good the game is, and it's an amazing game. I got one more question, man, before we get into what everybody's been playing this week. Are we going to get a sequel?
We're going to get some DLC. We announced DLC a couple weeks ago. So we're going to do that. That's what I'm working on now. So there's lots of like neat stuff. We haven't really like revealed any of the content in there, other than to say that there's going to be a new character class. So that should be pretty cool. It's fun to get back into like actually doing the artwork again, and because for the PlayStation launch it was so much like just UI tweaking and that kind of thing. So it's cool to be able to sit down and come up with like more gross stuff. And then next year, we're gonna start looking a little bit further beyond.
I like it.
But I mean, the response has been awesome, and it's very, very. We feel very, very fortunate to have found an audience for the game. And so we love it, and we're committed to kind of, as long as people are entertained and they want to see more of it, it'd be our pleasure to deliver more.
Awesome, dude. Yeah, I could not be happier for the success of the game and you guys have found. And it's just a fucking phenomenal game. So well done, man. Well done. Keep it up. Seriously, you guys got some great things ahead in store for you. So
and shout out for showing the Vita some love. Always like to see that.
Yeah, Sony was really awesome to work with. Once we figured out we're going to do cross save and cross buy, it felt like a big win. And a lot of people. Probably a huge chance, I think. I don't know. I just found out about the Switch like yesterday on the train or something. Yeah. I was like, oh, it's the dog face console. Sure. I guess we better get started.
And we're gonna get in that. Hey, Steve joined us. Steve, what's up, man? The calmest man in video games. He's here.
What's going on?
What's up? You always sound. That's what I mean. You're like that's. I swear, like Steve could have somebody right now in his basement with a gun to his head, and we wouldn't know it because he's just. All right.
I wouldn't worry you.
All right, so what we'll do now is we'll talk about what we've all been playing this week, and as always, since he's first in line, we'll start with Brandon.
So I've been the Halloween loot box grind is still real.
Tell me about it.
I've been playing nothing but Overwatch still.
Overwatch all day.
5 hours a day.
I feel you. Yeah.
I'm glad someone else shares.
Totally. You got to get that Mercy skin, right? It's not going to get itself.
I don't have it yet. I have enough coins to buy it if I don't get it before the event ends. So I'm waiting.
There's another 2 weeks before the event ends, right?
Yeah, it's November 1st or something like that. Which is also when Sombra might be coming out. Finally, a new character.
After 2 months of teasing?
So the countdown just ended this week, the one that they were doing on their website, and it was fucking nothing. It was like a month-long countdown, so they did a countdown to this longer countdown, which then ended with fucking nothing. So, like, it more teasing and little hints, basically saying like there'll be more info next week. Like, just give us the character already.
I have to say,
they didn't do all this.
She's like a stealth character, right? That's why they're doing all this stuff.
She's supposed to be like some kind of like techno hacker kind of thing. Yeah.
Right. So she'll have invisibility.
Yeah, that's what a novel concept. Brandon, I gotta tell you, man, like your level of devotion to Overwatch is approaching.
I never saw it coming.
Levels.
Absolutely, because
it might actually be past that now.
It might be. It might be, dude.
We're getting close.
Talking like 600 hours and
600 hours.
Whoa!
How long has the game been
out?
Since May.
That's like
you may overtake my Rocket League time, and
someone in chat
by the end of the year,
numbers right now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Somebody in
So
chat.
who do you main? Who do you main? What's your
mostly supports? Zenyatta, Mercy, Lucio,
nice.
And May. I've been playing a lot of May recently after she got buffed with her ult.
Yeah.
I started playing a lot of May.
I told you May's awesome.
Quick play. I don't take May in a competitive because I'm not good enough with it yet. But like I just like to go in and troll quick play, dude. I've gotten so good at like putting the wall like right behind someone, so they're backing away from you.
That's what's fun about her.
They just hit the wall and pop them in the head, and it works so well.
My favorite Overwatch memory with you guys is when we were all playing on PS4 and we were all playing as six Winstons.
On Dorado.
And some guy came into the chat. We were streaming it. Some guy came into the chat named Lord Harambe.
Remember Harambe.
And he was just spamming us with Harambe comments like, make them remember Harambe.
We made them remember because we won.
We did. We won. And then he says, you made the spirit of Harambe proud.
Oh, my God.
Oh, it was fucking beautiful. What a great game.
Yeah.
It just needs more modes. They need to do something with it.
There's rumors of like a permanent PvE mode coming.
The Halloween thing was pretty fun for that.
Absolutely, yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what the Thanksgiving and Christmas deals are.
They probably won't do anything for Thanksgiving, but Christmas for sure.
If they'll do like maybe they'll finally get over the bar of Battleborn.
Ooh, it's a tough. I don't know, man. Is Duke in Battleborn yet?
Nah.
That's the thing. When Duke comes to Battleborn, I'll buy it for $5.
So, guys, we say it every week. # put Duke in Battleborn.
Speaking of
Please
Duke,
tweet to Randy Pitchford.
The anniversary, the 20th anniversary collection for Duke 3D is out this week, I think.
I think I saw one tweet about it from.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's one more
Randy.
I mean, they kind of like redid the graphics a little bit, and it has developer commentary and a new episode.
Can you still throw poo at the chalkboard at the beginning of the game?
No, that was Duke Nukem Forever.
Oh, that's Duke Nukem Forever, right? Okay.
No, we're talking about the good Duke Nukem.
Okay, I was gonna say, wait a minute, why would they release that? Why would they re-release that? Okay,
no, dude,
makes more sense.
Duke Nukem
20 years already?
20 years, 1996. I played it when it was new.
Yeah, I remember that when it was brand new. It blew my mind.
Yep, sure did.
All right, Brandon, anything else?
The shareware version because that was like a cheap.
Of course you did. That's how things went back then.
Yep.
Anything
all I've been playing. That's all I've been playing. I want to dig into some Res because it's fucking Res.
I was playing that right before we got on.
Yeah, the thing is,
it's just buy PSVR first though.
I need to grind out Overwatch for the special loot boxes, so I can't play other games until the holiday event is over. They got me, dude. Like,
what is so compelling? Like, what do you have your eye on that's keeping you so sucked in?
The core gameplay itself. Like every match feels different in some small way. I mean, quick play more than competitive. The games can start to feel the same because people are using the same, the top tier characters. But in quick play, you're seeing different variations, and every game feels different. So there's, you bounce back and forth. If you want something more serious, you play the competitive, and then when you just want to have some stupid fun, you play the quick play.
I'll say this: I have more awesome multiplayer memories playing Overwatch with these guys than any other game in recent memory.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. All of us, a bunch of us at Red Hook, we play like as breaks during the day. We'll just hop on and do a couple of matches, and then go back to work. It's great for that. We only play competitive though. I can't if I'm not getting purple points. I feel so hollow, man.
You gotta get those gold. You gotta get the golden weapons.
Yeah, like nothing feels good unless I'm getting those sweet purple numbers.
Yep.
Brandon has finally found a kindred spirit.
Yeah, really.
And speaking of that, Chris, what are you playing this week, man? When you're not
Overwatch.
There you go.
That's all I've been playing.
Yes.
Just Soldier 76 all day, every day.
I love Soldier 76, man.
He's always good. You can't. Yeah. I got into Diva though. That was the big thing for me this week. I was like, hey, Diva's legit.
Yeah, Diva's cool.
That's all my wife.
It feels so good to just throw your mech up in the air and get like a quadra kill.
Yeah. I got a quintuple kill as soldier the other day, and I felt pretty good about that.
Good.
I never get play the game, but that's because I'm not very good.
Because you play Lucio. The only way to deal with
I play Lucio. I did get to play the game once when I knocked 4 motherfuckers.
Yeah, you gotta boop them off the ledge. That's how you get it.
Some characters I think are disproportionately like designed to get play of the game.
Absolutely.
Like Reaper.
Hanzo.
Here's the time Reaper killed everyone, or Hanzo,
Reaper, and that's what it is.
or Bastion for a while, but that's kind of phased out now.
Okay, well, we'll move on to Flunky then, since all you play is Overwatch. Now, JT, you packed all your consoles up, right?
I got my PS4 still hooked up and my PC.
Okay, what are you playing? What are you playing, man?
Well, I too am chasing Halloween loot themed.
You fucking people! All
Do you guys want to group up real
Only
quick
this-
now? You guys want to start a group real quick?
Not in Overwatch though.
We'll cut it early.
Might as well.
I'm playing in Rocket League.
Play some real games.
No, I mean how can you resist a ghost topper for your car who
That's
goes
pretty cool.
back and forth? You know, he's super awesome.
I got Zenyatta as a
fuzzy
spooky
skull.
skeleton.
Come on, guys. You guys are killing me.
Are you
Halloween cosmetics are the shit, dude. I'm all about it.
Okay,
I'm a sucker for Christmas stuff. If there's Christmas events, I'll actually play Overwatch.
Yeah, I got like a Christmas tree.
That blew my mind. The first time any game ever did something special for Christmas was on the Dreamcast. The first time I ever saw it was Sonic Adventure on the Dreamcast on December 25th, 1999, because I got it for Christmas. I popped in Sonic Adventure, and the hub world was all like Christmas tree, all decked out and stuff, because it was like the first online connected console, right? So they could do that. I was like, holy shit!
I know everyone hates GTA Online, but they actually do some cool stuff at Christmas. The whole map gets covered in snow, and it actually changes how the
fights and
stuff.
Do you get forgiven for all your horrible sins as well?
I don't think so.
There's still like maybe this forgiveness minigame.
It's the time of forgiveness.
No, they get like a Christmas firework launcher you can blow people up with. It's pretty fun.
Oh, okay.
Right. So the opposite of that.
Yeah.
Tis the season to be a fucking mass murderer. Like, if they could just add a zombie mode to GTA Online. Like, I know zombies are played out.
I mean, they had it in Red Dead.
Yeah. And you know what? If you took that online, you could have like the next DayZ. Like, it would be fucking amazing.
They'll probably do that for Red Dead too.
They probably will.
They better.
Yeah, that's something.
Because they said that's going to have an online mode, obviously. So.
But okay, so we'll move on since our first three guys here have only played nothing but Overwatch. Oh, look at that, Gabe!
And Rocket. I just said Rocket League.
Hello.
JP was playing Rocket League.
Gabe,
Jeff
was like, "All right, here we go," and then Gabe jumps in. And Gabe's like, "No." Kind of like Gabe was like, "See, Chris, what I tell you, man? Like this shit, it gets crowded in here." Yeah. Gabe jumped in like Dikembe Mutombo and just snatched it away from Jeff.
Actually, on my screen, I'm always last on the right, so I have no idea when I'm. So I just wait until you call me out.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, Gabe. God, that fucking picture. Okay, Gabe. Jesus. Holy shit. Gabe's dog is a chimera.
Stay focused. Come on.
Okay, all right. What are you playing this week, man? Let's hear it.
I'm gonna play this week. Let's see. A little bit of everything. Play a little bit of Gears, a little bit of Forza, a little bit of. I don't know. Oh, I was playing Cameo from an Xbox 360 game.
Cameo.
The launch game.
Yeah.
Shit, dude.
Man,
that's game.
the game that time forgot.
Blast from the past.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thanks, Reddit
Nobody
Thanks to Reddit Play.
Peter Jackson's King Kong with that too.
I won 1,000 that game.
It's a pretty fun game. I'm enjoying it.
Peter Jackson's King Kong, the game, the
movie. Oh man!
Holy shit! All right.
Full auto fun a game.
Have you gone back to full auto yet?
That game was so bad.
It was pretty bad. It was hyped up like crazy though.
It really was, wasn't it?
I did enjoy
dude.
Auto. That game was a shit.
Oh,
I never played it. It was like Burnout with guns,
but yeah, it felt like Twisted Metal, but like in Burnout together.
It was like Burnout and Twisted Metal fucked, but it wasn't as good as either of them.
Good game.
Yeah,
Cameo was good. Loved Cameo.
Real quick shout out to our friends in chat from Basement Radio Arcade Podcast, Enrique and Sam Tolbert. Brap. They stole it from
The Brat Pack.
The Brat Pack. The Brat Pack is in the house. They're our sister podcast. We're the brother podcast because we're more masculine. They go live every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard.
The broadcast.
So go check them out, please. They're awesome guys, and I'm on that podcast as well, as often as I can be. All right, Gabe. Anything else, buddy?
I played a lot of things I can't remember right now, but mostly these 3 games.
Gabe has played so many fucking games he can't remember what he's played.
I'm impressed. No, seriously, this weekend I've been jumping from game to game trying to figure out what to play, and I was like, oh no, I'm not gonna play that. I played a little bit of Conquer. Conquer's bad for the. I gave up on that game. That game, like most Nintendo 64 3D games, it controls like. Okay, I'm not gonna get into it.
It's hard to control the camera.
Yeah, it's hard to control my camera too. Whenever somebody talks about Conquer's bad for a day, because the game is so bad.
Oh, you're fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah, the game is terrible.
I didn't want it to say that because I know a lot of people love the game.
I wanted that remastered version to be good. I even tried to get into the multiplayer, and it was just like epilepsy.
But no, the N64 version is a classic. You're fucking crazy.
No, Conquer's bad for a day is garbage, dude.
Nah, it's pretty bad.
You're wrong.
The first step to salvation is.
I will stand behind the majority.
Some games just
thinks that game is great.
What was that, Steve?
Some games just don't hold up. I haven't played it.
I didn't say it held up. I said it was great for the time. As games should.
I remember it being good, but I've been.
Games are products of their time, and for its time, it was good.
Well, then again, Gabe can't remember what the fuck he plays, so why should we listen to him at all? So,
yeah, man.
All right. Okay. All right. So we'll move on because we got a lot to cover. Jeff, what are you playing this weekend?
I'm like Gabe. I've just been jumping around, but I'm really poor, so I can't play any of the new stuff. So I've been playing like Sleeping Dogs and Assassin's Creed Syndicate.
I saw you.
Bioshock.
Okay.
I don't know.
There's not two
Pouring one out for Shen Wang.
I've never. Oh, that's so sad.
No spoilers.
Yeah, that's so bad. I've
had Sleeping Dogs on Steam for years, and I just never played it. And then I saw that United Front, feel for them, all those guys there that are affected. But I thought, it's time. I'll boot it up and give it a go. So I put in a couple hours. It's really good. It plays like a 2010 game, but it's got a really good atmosphere, I guess, which to me a lot of times can make up for some gameplay problems.
But no, graphics were amazing when it first came out.
Yeah, it still looks really good. I'm running it down-sampled on my computer, with everything cranked up, and the high-res texture pack is really good. Like it holds up.
That came out day one with the PC version.
Yeah. So that's good stuff.
Has a surprisingly good story, especially like later on in the game.
Yeah, memorable characters, which you usually don't get out of these open world.
Yeah, exactly.
I need to play this. I haven't played it.
I don't know. I thought the mechanics were really good too, though. Like
the only thing, the driving feels a little stiff, but you're not driving as much as you are in a GTA game.
I just want to get a fucking gun. I've only played like 2 hours, and I'm still like throwing like
I mean, they really pushed the hand-to-hand on you at the beginning.
I'm looking at the control mapping, and there is a shoot button, so
obviously they put so much effort into the hand-to-hand combat system. They don't want to just give you a gun all the time.
Yeah, it's fun. I want to shoot stuff too.
They want it to look like a fucking martial arts movie.
Yeah. Mostly that, and I started Assassin's Creed Syndicate. I got it on sale for like super cheap. And it's good. It's an Assassin's Creed game, but I like it a lot better than Unity.
The thing that I like about Assassin's Creed Syndicate is that it starts off like really snappy. Like they just get right to it. There's none of that like Abstergo stuff where you're like slow walking with like a secretary.
It's like they give you Jacob and Evie, and they're like each of you get like this big assassination mission. You're in this big kind of enemy stronghold, and you work your way through, and right off the bat you're just killing people. So no, it's I like it. It's good.
And the nice thing is that you don't have a 6-hour tutorial like in Assassin's Creed 3. Playing is
Black Flag took forever to get going too.
It did. Black Flag is very, very loosely an Assassin's Creed game in my opinion. It's a pirate game, and you just happen to have found.
But it's got like the worst parts of Assassin's Creed, because the first half hour of that game is an unskippable Abstergo stuff where you're in first person following the secretary.
That was bad. That was bad.
And then it goes right into like trailing missions. You're like, guy.
The trailing missions are worse. Now I haven't played all the way through Syndicate. Jeff, the trailing those are gone, right? Like there's.
I've only played like just over an hour of it, so I haven't.
I don't think they're completely.
No,
there's less of them than in like
even in Unity there was a lot less, and I think this one they definitely made efforts to address some of the criticisms. So yeah, no, I haven't seen a hint of them yet.
I will say this: my wife played Assassin's Creed. She's a huge AC fan. She played Assassin's Creed Syndicate, and she said that Jacob was the best AC character since Ezio. And Evie too. Jacob and Evie both.
Really
yeah,
good.
Jacob's whatever, but Evie is awesome.
Yeah.
Isn't she older in the DLC? Like, there's DLC for the game, and she's aged considerably in the DLC.
Yeah, it takes place like 20 or 25 years later or something.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Someone's mad about spoilers, but fuck them.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. Who's mad about spoilers?
I don't know. There's always someone. I'm just saying.
I'm sure. But spoiler alert: there's 2 characters in Assassin's Creed Syndicate. All right, Jeff. Anything else?
Oh shit!
I know. I'm sorry.
She doesn't die at the end. Oh my god.
Yeah, right. There's assassination missions and historical characters die.
I wish Assassin's Creed didn't have all the high tech stuff. It always seemed like such a.
It was like a weird forced thing to make it like a continuing series, but like they don't need it.
The thing is, like, the historical stuff.
I was like, I just want to be the medieval guy. I don't want to be like a shitty, skinny kid pretending to be a medieval guy with like a vibe on, you know?
I mean, it seems like the original creators of the game had this like grand vision for where it was going to go, and then as it got shuffled from creative director to creative director, everyone had their own idea what they wanted to do with it. It just kind of fell apart and went nowhere. It was
it's like the modern day stuff is just something that they had to carry through because the first game had it, and so.
Or they thought it was like, I don't know, maybe they made a really powerful case for it around the boardroom, like we made the game really relevant or edgy or high tech. I don't know. I just felt like I just didn't care until I could finally run around in Italy, and even then I was kind of still bummed out that I wasn't really there.
Because Desmond has the character and of like a weak head of lettuce.
Nolan's worst role is Desmond Miles.
It's terrible. He
put no effort into that character.
And he didn't even make any effort to mask his Nathan Drake voice. So like every time Desmond opened his mouth, I was like, Elena? Where's Elena?
Yeah, it was bored Nathan Drake. He didn't want to be there.
It was
and then it was who in the first one, Kristen Bell, right? She was the
whenever they got rid of her,
they killed her off because they didn't want to pay her anymore.
Yeah, she got too expensive, and they were like, "Okay, well, we're just gonna."
Your character's dead now.
You're dead now.
Happens in soap operas all the time.
And Assassin's Creed is one of those weird games where, like, when the first one came out, like they didn't even advertise like the abstergo futuristic.
It was right Kristen Bell who spilled the beans on a talk show.
Yeah, and they're like, and I was
when that kid.
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like it was on Letterman or something, and she was like, "Oh yeah, there's this weird like modern day storyline." Everyone's like, "What?"
I remember. Well, and like no, gamers went one, and the whole time David Letterman's like,
"Cool." No. Like internet forums were like, "What?"
Yeah, and the story.
I mean, there was speculation on it because people saw like the weird like Matrixy stuff going on, like the logos.
Right. All the UI forms up out of like.
Yeah, exactly.
Watch them pull the same stupid shit with For Honor at the last minute. There's going to be some kind of fucking.
I mean, whatever, dude. That game is
jacked into the Matrix.
Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway,
I'll buy anything that Jason Vanderberg produced. Like that dude is like my hero now.
Matt, what are you playing this week from your fucking prison cell there in San Quentin?
The Rock.
They were kind of
live. The Rock.
Matt's in the Rock. Matt joins us live from Sing Sing. What's going on?
Yeah. They were kind enough to bring a console to my cell. So I loaded up Elder Scrolls Online to try out that one Tamriel patch.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, tell me about that.
Well, I dropped out of. I made 3 separate characters trying to get into that game because I was so desperate for something like Skyrim.
Way too much effort.
Oh yeah, I know. Every time I hit level 15, though, it kind of plateaued just because I felt like I was making no more progress. But the one Tamriel thing takes away leveling and just adds level scaling, just like in Skyrim. So now I'm wandering around like I have not hit a single area where I feel underleveled. And that's the big change they've made to it. And I feel like I'm going to stick with it now. And it feels a lot more like Skyrim. I mean, there's still like MMO concessions like...
That's good. I always thought that it needed to feel more like a single player Elder Scrolls game than like a knockoff MMO.
Yeah, I read an article on Polygon with the like creative director of it or something, and I think he's the creative director. He's the guy that went out on stage when that woman was yelling at him at E3.
Oh right, yeah.
And he said that like they don't want it to be considered an MMO anymore. They want it to be considered a single player RPG that there just happens to be other people there.
That's it. Always should have been that way.
Yeah, and that's what it feels like. And like the game is great, I think, because there's just so much stuff to do, and I mean, there's little annoyances because it's an MMO, but it just feels like another Elder Scrolls game now. So,
speaking of that, are you going to give this up when Skyrim comes out next week, remastered?
That's next week already?
Yeah, next Friday, man. Time flies.
We're in it, dude, right? It's the end of
What's
October
with this,
already.
like,
You've
Friday
lost like 2
release
months
thing?
of your life playing Overwatch. Like,
Yeah.
Look up and
like, I'm gonna come out of my hole and it's like, oh shit, there's all these games.
Brandon's gonna like Brandon's like the man that time forgot.
Yeah, really, dude.
Overwatch, he's sitting head out. He's like, everyone's dead.
I am falling so far behind. Like every day, there's so many games I got. Like when I eventually get sick of Overwatch, there'll be so many games.
If you're playing Overwatch, you're not falling behind. You're leading the way.
You can't encourage
I like that outlook.
Get this man
You're
off
going to
the
be ready
podcast.
for Overwatch 2. You'll be
Overwatch 2.
Overwatch
Yeah, like
There will
2030,
absolutely
2030.
yeah.
Absolutely. There will be
Overwatch
Overwatch 2. Overwatched. That's what it's going to be called.
Overwatch.
Overwatch 2, Overwatch.
Overwatching.
Sombra still won't be out.
Exactly.
It'll be a sweet, like, augmented reality game to find her, though.
Yeah.
Matt, what else are you playing, man?
Battlefield 1.
Oh, dude, what do you think?
It's so good. It's the best Battlefield since Bad Company 2. Because I really enjoyed 3. And 4 just did not grab me at all. But like 3 didn't grab me like Bad Company 2 did either. But this feels like a return to form. And I played a lot of it with JT the other night.
And I think it feels that way because it has one of the best game modes ever introduced to the Battlefield series.
It's so good.
Operations. And if you haven't heard anything else about it, I've been talking about it on Twitter a lot, but it's basically like a mix of everything that makes Battlefield great. And it's Conquest, but in a rush format. So you're still capping points, but you're making progress sector-wise. So you're moving forward, and it really feels – you can really feel like the push-pull of the rush, but then like you're not planting bombs or anything like that.
That's
And
actually awesome.
It's kind of got like a little story element to it too. Like if you are the attacker and you push people or you push the enemy as far as they can go, you start up a new map, and it's like a story. They'll tell a little bit about like we pushed them back, we're on the offensive. Like we only have so many people left, and like it kind of gives like a little cutscene, and it's really cool how they kind of make it. I mean, like there's only 4 of these operations, but everything kind of feels like its own little.
I feel like more multiplayer games need to have that chatter, because like that's what I really loved about Titanfall too. You always had like your comm guys up in the upper right corner talking to you and telling you, giving you like updates on the battle. It makes it feel more alive, because sometimes even if you're running around with 64 people in a Battlefield game, sometimes it can feel like lonely, like you're just out in this open, expansive environment. And, like
Exactly.
anything they can do to make it feel like you're more a part of something.
Yeah, and it gives a lot of cool context to the World War I stuff, because I think I got to do some research on this, but so there's the 4 like different operations, and they're all kind of like 2 or 3 of the maps set into a playlist. So like there's the desert maps that are together, the forest maps that are together, and then like JT said before the match, they kind of give you background on these World War I battles. I don't know if they are all historically accurate, but it gives
They better be, otherwise it would be worthless.
Yeah, it gives kind of a nice like framing to the World War I aspect, other than just like, oh, hey, here's some World War I guns, shoot people with them.
Yeah, so like going back to what Brandon said, or like just a while ago, me and Matt were playing Operations, and we ended the match because like you don't stay in the same lobby. You like go through an operation, and you either run out of troops attacking or you defend successfully. And once that's over, like you go back to the menu and you start a new one. Well, after we played one operation, we booted up Conquest, and I don't know how you felt, Matt, but to me it was just like, this is kind of empty. It's like it's kind of like people running around with their chickens with their head cut off.
Yeah, it felt so static compared to Operations, because Operations felt like the battlefield was constantly like shifting. You had to adapt, and this it was just like, okay, I'll run to that flag and take it. Oh shit, they took D. I guess I got to run back. Like,
Yeah, I definitely noticed that in Conquest.
It's an amazingly focused game mode, and it's totally like brought a breath of fresh air into the standard Battlefield formula for me. And that's just going to be the thing that hooks me.
and it makes so many clutch moments because we had 2 in one match. We were gonna lose by like I think it was one kill or something, and we just held them off for like a good 15 minutes. It was amazing.
It gives you that sense of like camaraderie with the people you're actually playing with. That you're like, hell yeah, we held off these guys even though they were coming at us with everything they had. They had like a airship. What do you call those? The
Zeppelin.
The behemoth.
Zeppelin. Yeah.
Zeppelin.
Sorry.
Come on, I know all about Zeppelins, man. We've had this.
The word escapes me at the moment, but yeah, I mean they had like everything that they were throwing at us, like airstrikes and all this, and we still like were able to just hold them off. So
yeah,
I'm actually picking it up.
Awesome.
I'm picking it up tomorrow. I'm
Good.
on Battlefield 1 tomorrow, and anybody who, if you guys are down, I'm down to shit.
I would, but I'm busy.
Playing Overwatch. Busy playing Overwatch. But
His main woman.
one of the
It's
cool
saving
things
me a lot of money.
that it is. You're going to be able to buy so many games at the end of the year.
I'll be cheap as fuck.
One of the things about Battlefield 1 that really interests me is, the setting, because, I've spoken about this before, but World War I is one of those conflicts that doesn't get a lot of attention from from any medium, really, be it literature or film or video games. World War I really.
Yeah, like when I think World War I in video games, the first thing I think of is like the darkness. There was one level and the darkness.
Yeah, one level. And
other than that, not much for World War I. There was like
so this is great.
Not historically accurate.
No, certainly not.
Yeah.
It was more like hell.
And like as somebody who has been to war, and Brandon's been in more combat than I have. He was an infantry guy. I know, like I haven't played.
I wasn't in Fallujah, dude.
What? Yeah, but the thing is that I haven't played the game, full disclosure, but I've seen the opening of the game and I've had it described to me. And you play as a multitude of soldiers, and when you die, you get the birth date and the death date, the moment of death of that individual, and then another individual.
In the prologue.
Yeah, it's in the prologue. But like you play as multiple characters who just keep dying, and you just pick up a weapon and keep going, and it really kind of hammers home the lethality of combat. Like it doesn't pull any punches, because games like Call of Duty, for example, you're always it's very heroic. You're fucking yeah, we're going to kick ass. But in Battlefield 1, it makes no bones about it. It's like you're going to fucking die. Like this is
Matt, have you played any of the single player, like the full release?
I booted up the second mission because I played most of the first one, or the second war story, and it's about a pilot. And I like how they're telling the story, but I don't like the gameplay of the campaign really. And it might just be
a problem with the past Battlefield campaigns. On this one is like they go for kind of a, like, I don't mind the up close approach, but it's very linear, and you're kind of on the ground. Like, I mean, Battlefield's about the big, huge, open 64 player. Like, at least in the past, they never really managed to include that in the campaign in a meaningful way.
Yeah, this feels a little more open than that, but it still feels a lot more restrictive. But I like the characters and stuff. They seem to be kind of not going the whole like, oh, war is hell route. Even though they do that in the prologue, they kind of eased up on it a little bit. And
do you feel like that's a missed opportunity?
Well, I think what they're doing with the characters is kind of focusing on the human element. Which I think is smarter, because I think if they went the war's hell route, it would be kind of just like exploitative almost. So they're kind of like, these are people that actually fought. Like these weren't just numbers on a stat sheet. So I think it's kind of well handled.
I like the war stories aspect because it gives them the opportunity to tell the story from many different points throughout the war without having one central character that you feel like he's invincible, that he's going all throughout all these battles, these important things, and you're doing like all these incredible things, but it's just that one guy. And so it kind of gives you a sense of like, oh, well, I'm unstoppable like every other shooter, single player shooter out there. So it's kind of cool to like delve into like a different character. Like I played the Italian storyline where he's like got this like, he's telling this story to his kid, and so they like his voice plays over your gameplay while you're in a different battalion, totally separate from the first war story that it was that you're in like in a tank. It's like you're in Great Britain and tank, or you're with the British Empire. So I like that they have the opportunity to jump around to different places and not necessarily that focus on one battalion or one squad, you know?
Yeah, because telling a like big interconnected, far-reaching story has never been DICE's thing either. So it feels like kind of a compromise for their storytelling abilities too.
It gets less and less plausible the bigger the story you're trying to tell. When you're trying to rope in all these elements, it's better to just do it as like a series of vignettes and just give people a sense of things as opposed to trying to connect every little dot.
Yeah.
For sure.
Cool. All right. We'll go ahead and move on to Steve. Steve will talk about what he's been playing this week, and then we'll get into kind of our two big topics for the week. Matt's going to get his dry cleaning. But Steve, what are you playing this week?
Prison guards just delivered his food.
That computer's contraband. They're doing a cell check, and he's like, shit. Steve, what are you playing this week?
I've been playing some Battlefront with some friends, and again, that Death Star mode is really addictive.
That's so good. It is so good.
I don't know what gripped me. I also went back and played The Witcher, just really to play like Gwent for some reason. I don't know why. I think I heard like a song that reminded me of the song that plays in the background, and I was just like, I got to play that. So that was like an hour and a half of my life, just running around finding people that I hadn't played Gwent with. I'm never going to finish all the side missions in that game, so I could always revisit. I could see myself going back a year from now and trying it out, like I was doing with Dragon Age for a long time. You guys were always giving me crap because I was always on Dragon Age.
Although, to be fair, you never became addicted to it like Brandon is to Overwatch.
No one has ever been addicted to a game on this podcast as much as Brandon with Overwatch this time. So, yeah, there's no comparison. But yeah, I was really hooked on the multiplayer for Dragon Age for a while. Any case, I was playing some Civilization 5 because I'm looking forward to the release of Civilization 6 tomorrow. I'm definitely picking that up.
That comes out tomorrow, doesn't it?
Yeah, no one's talking about it. I feel
It's that time of year, dude.
Yeah. It's going to be that game that is.
Total Biscuit's talking about it.
Hey, Steve, Enrique in chat wants to know, is Steve dropping knowledge bombs tonight?
I'm not sure yet.
How are we going to get there?
The night is still young. We're not at the end of the
Serious here.
I guess we'll start with just letting you know that the Pro Club in FIFA is awesome. And I've been playing that online. It's kind of reminiscent of NHL 14, where you could do the drop-in games with a created character, and it would up your stats every game based on your gameplay. This is done really well. And I gave FIFA some crap, I think, when I first got it, just because they had that story mode that kind of wasn't appealing to me. But this is much more appealing. The gameplay's solid.
I can't fucking believe they give FIFA story mode. It's like, come on. Get the fuck out of here.
Some folks seem to like it.
It's like giving Minecraft
FIFA a Spike Lee joint.
It's basically that.
That would be amazing.
Oh, wait. They did that.
Your character was
funny
by
is
Troy Baker.
FIFA got a campaign and Battlefront didn't. Just sit on
So yeah, I guess in the FIFA game you start in Brazil with like a little dog that looks like a demon.
So you're shots fired, dude. Damn.
But no, it is great fun to jump on there in the Pro Club game anyway. It's pretty good. You get like a good 6 or 7 people on either team. Usually about 3 of them stay, and it's fun to toss the ball back and forth. And I played Journey. I missed out on Journey.
You never played Journey?
I think I mentioned to you guys like I didn't really find it appealing because you just walk. But
that's the best walking simulator.
It's the best walking simulator ever. The best.
It's a pretty beautiful game.
You totally fucking missed out.
Well, I'm ready to admit that because I played it with my son actually, and it's just his kind of game because there's not like combat or anything that freaks him out. Perfect. So he really enjoyed it, and
did he beat it?
Did he just sit there and make like little twittering noises over and over? That's what my son did when he played Journey. He sit there and made the little trippy noises over and over. I was like, no, buddy. He was much younger. I was like, you got to walk forward. And he goes, no. And he just keeps hitting the trip. I was like, all right, we'll do whatever you're going to do, I
guess. he really became enamored when somebody else showed up on the map. Like he was following them around and they were jumping around together. It was really fun.
That's cool. That's really fucking awesome, dude. I just want to point out to Chris, since you're new to the podcast, man, like, think of Steve, because somebody said, is Steve dropping knowledge bombs? And I want to give a little context to that. Like, think of, like, if this show were Home Improvement with Tim Allen, Steve is that guy who's looking over the fence and
Right,
giving
the
sage
weird
advice.
neighbor.
Wilson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm the
he's like
creepy
that.
neighbor.
Yeah, you only see his eyes, and he always gives you really good, like Morgan Freeman style advice. You know, he's like, you should do this. And
You just lost all of our viewers under 25.
I know, yeah. Everybody's like, what the fuck
They're
is
gone.
time?
Am I old for knowing Home Improvement?
Home Improvement. What the fuck is Home Improvement? I know.
It's getting a little long in the tooth. It's
That makes me
feel-
Home Improvement.
really
I feel
fucking
like Home
old.
Improvement's
I
not
guess that was like a
bad.
mid-late 90s show, huh?
Yeah.
All right,
Get those reruns.
JT in chat is like, let's talk about Red Dead Redemption 2. Let's talk about Red Dead Redemption
No, it's
2.
a switch joke. It's like, let's switch our conversation
Oh,
to Red Dead.
Oh, you just don't want to listen to what Steve has to say. But that's
No,
also like the
because-
worst fucking joke I've ever heard in my life.
Because
We
the-
do only have 30 minutes to cover both of them.
Well, John,
Okay,
what are you
well-
playing?
We've been cruising, man.
Yeah, I know, right? No, the conversation's just so natural. Real quick, I've been playing Res Infinite this week, which is fucking amazing.
Good choice.
Please,
and
by all
I-
means, talk about Res. I can never hear. people
I'm not
talk.
even playing it on PSVR. I'm playing it on PS4. It looks fucking incredible. It plays fucking incredible. It's Res. What do you expect? I'm almost at the end. You know, of course, like if you know what you're doing, if you're
Fear is
halfway
the
good at
mind
it, it's-
killer.
Yeah, Fear is the mind killer. You know, the soundtrack is just like it's like the payload in Overwatch. It's bumping.
Oh, but then there's
It's
Area
bumping.
X.
Like Area, I haven't done Area X. I unlocked it, but I haven't done it yet.
Okay.
But just an amazing fucking game. And you know, like it's like putting on an old pair of shoes. And I got the sound bar over here, and it just sounds fucking great. Just a fucking Res is just a fantastic game to revisit. Just fantastic. I can't imagine what this game looks like on VR. And then so I've been playing Res, Dragon Quest Builders, which is fucking amazing. Great fucking game. It's everything I love about Minecraft with a much more focused campaign, and of course that Dragon Quest aesthetic. It is literally a reboot of the original Dragon Warrior game for NES. Same storyline, only in this one the Dragon Lord won, and you got to rebuild the world. So there's a lot of Dark Cloud as well. It's just a phenomenal fucking game. Great shit. So yeah, Res Infinite and Dragon Age or Dragon Quest Builders is what I've been playing. And I'm touching on them really quickly because I do want to get into the NX and Red Dead Redemption 2. So you guys want to start with Red Dead or NX?
Red Dead. Yeah.
Red Dead.
Let's do
Switch.
So yeah, a small indie studio called Rockstar talked about their
Up and coming.
new
New
series
kids on the block.
called
There's
These
going
Guys Are
places.
Young upstarts.
there's these guys are you know they're fucking hungry. They want it, and they
Now one Leslie Benson's.
very little known series called Red Dead Redemption.
It's amazing that that dude has a poster. Brandon has a poster of it on his wall so soon
Right.
after
I know,
the
it's
announcement.
yeah, he's
Fanboy.
just
Same company, right?
I wish I had a Red Dead Redemption poster.
he's super confident. But so right off the bat,
Wait, imagine if Red Dead was like modern. Do you see that article?
Oh God.
Yeah. What
It's like,
was
it
it Daily
exists.
Radar? What site was that
Fuck
on?
Brandon's wall.
Yeah, exactly.
so
You might have heard of it. There have been like 9 of them.
Hey, Brandon, I never noticed. Is your mirror cracked?
No.
Okay, dude,
I didn't think so. I had to
You're
check.
just having a stroke. I'm sorry.
but yeah, I'm probably stroking out. So right off the bat, Red Dead Redemption 2, the trailer was running on a PS4, so I hear. Looks more like a fucking PS Pro to me because the shit
It's
looks.
straight up state
beautiful.
captured on PS4.
It looks beautiful.
But I mean, we all know Rockstar trailers, so like they embellish a little
Yeah. Well, and
yeah,
here's
you
the thing,
remember
like,
those GTA 5 reveal trailers?
bit. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
bullshit. The PC version doesn't look that good.
No.
Well, here's the thing right off the bat. Like a lot of people were like, "That's it," and I'm like, "The game's a year away. What were you expecting them to show?"
And this is exactly what they did with GTA 5. It was like a minute long.
Like, all their
teaser.
trailers. I linked someone to the Vice City trailer. It was like there wasn't even dialogue. It just was like a minute of just people, like the streets and kind of the crowd and
Yeah.
the vehicles.
Yeah,
and,
they didn't
like,
reveal Michael, Franklin, and Trevor until like 2
Well,
or
yeah,
3 trailers
yeah.
in.
Yeah.
So-
they always go with the slow drip approach.
Yeah.
So speaking
It
of that,
works.
so,
We'll get that nicely narrated, silky smooth lady voice trailer. Like
Here's what you
we
do
will get
in
one of
no,
those.
no, dude,
Yeah.
this is the Wild West. There's not if a lady's speaking, it's not going to be silky and smooth. It's going to be like,
You wait,
"Welcome to the
dude.
Wild West."
You
it's-
wait. That GTA 5 trailer was so successful that I guarantee they'll do exactly the same thing for Red Dead.
So here's the deal, right? Like, obviously, if you look at the poster and you look at the trailer, like it's a prequel. It's a prequel. It's not a sequel. That is very clearly Bill Williamson.
A sequel
in
would
the
be stupid
poster.
because it wouldn't even be the Wild West anymore.
And that's my thing. Is like, well, why is it Red Dead Redemption 2? it's a prequel. It's not a sequel. And I'm like, yeah, but think about Metal Gear Solid 3. I mean, that was a sequel, and it went all the way back to the fucking Cold War.
Yeah.
But what if I had a thought today? Like, so at the end, I think what you're seeing is Dutch's gang riding across the Great Plains, right? What if they're playing? What if they pull a GTA 5 and you play as multiple members of the gang?
Yeah. Seems likely.
I wasn't a huge. I liked the different characters in principle in GTA, but I felt like the story was a little bit disjointed.
Absolutely.
The characters are really good, but it just, I guess maybe it depends on how you play the missions.
GTA 5 story had no focus.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't know if that's, doesn't
I don't know if
wrap
that's
up
because
anything.
of the characters or if the story just didn't have focus to begin with. So if they can pull it off, I think it's
a
awesome.
little bit of both.
It's a hard sell too when you're asking people to bounce around between different characters because not everybody's going to like every character. So suddenly you've got a big chunk of the game where you're like, I don't like this guy's an asshole. I don't want to be this guy. I don't want to do his missions. You know.
That's
like
hard enough. Which character you wanted to play?
All I played as was Franklin because I didn't like Trevor. Never had clothes on when I switched to him. To the field, and Michael was just a dick. So I don't know.
I never liked playing as Michael simply because he was like the most stereotypical fucking mafioso.
I always played as Franklin because he's got the slow-mo driving, and that's
So imagine this, like we said on last week's episode, I think it was last week's, how we were kind of disappointed that Battlefield 1 did not retain the multiple viewpoints in the battlefield outside of the prologue. What if you show up on a mission and you get to play as all 7, but you're all in the same place, and so you can utilize different vantage points, like one guy's up here sniping, one guy's down in the trenches,
that's what GTA 5 tried to do and didn't quite.
I'm worried about that though, because then it's like, what if they try to shoehorn in some unnecessary fucking co-op, and that's the last thing.
It is going to be like an online focused game,
paving the way for groundbreaking multiplayer.
If you don't think that there's going to be like a huge GTA Online style thing for Red Dead.
There absolutely. Well, but here's the thing that excites me in Red Dead a lot more than because I have not played a single round of GTA Online. I just don't.
Honestly, neither have I. I bought GTA 5 3 times and I never played online.
I think it suits the Wild West idea a lot better too.
I played a bit of it in Red Dead Redemption, and it was actually fun. I played with my friends.
Yeah, like the deathmatch, I loved how like the Red Dead Redemption started you off with like a draw, like a duel. I think everyone was lined up, and it would just start out. Everyone would duel, and then you would run around.
Jesse in chat says, "I'm excited to ride a horse and isn't as dumb as Roach." Hey, fucking man.
There's not a lot of good horses in video games, is there?
No, there's really not. And just on Witcher 3 real quick, I just wanted, because Steve mentioned Gwent, it's amazing that Gwent actually has better combat than Witcher 3.
It's not that bad.
Point that out. But
my first experience with Witcher 3 was like a horse story. Like it took off flying, and I was like literally going up, like flying in the air, like a
somebody time
biscuit.
Nothing's worse than this Two Worlds horse.
Yeah.
Have you seen that YouTube video?
Jerry, oh my god.
That's the best horse in the game. Two Worlds horse.
Somebody please link that video in chat.
All right, I'll find it.
Yeah, fine.
Funniest video game related videos of all time.
Do you guys, I don't know, like, regarding Red Dead Redemption 2, there's one thing, I was really hoping for like a spring release, because this game has clearly been in development for years. And I really like the Bethesda model of announcing it and then saying in 4 months you can play it. Here it is. Do you guys think they announced it too early?
If they hit their date, I don't think so, but I feel like it's not going to hit it.
Really?
Oh, didn't they delay GTA 5?
Twice.
Yeah. And Rockstar is Rockstar. They don't give a shit. They'll release it when it's done, right? So,
they don't have the bends, dude. They don't have the bends to come in.
The darkness.
They don't need the bends.
I'm worried that the darkness will get the better of them. And I don't know. If it releases next fall, like October, I think a year is perfectly fine. Every 3 months or so, we get a little bit of an update. But any more than that, and more than a year is just no game should be revealed that early to me.
The timing is smart though, because it's all the big boys haven't started slugging it out for American Thanksgiving and Christmas. Like the mind share gets really, really congested around Christmas time. So to slip out your announcement now, regardless of what happens with the ship date, is a great way for them to just plant a seed in the back of your head. You're going to forget about it over Christmas. You're going to get your Switch and get really engrossed in whatever comes with that.
Zelda.
And then, they'll remind you again in April that they're out there. But, the more times you hit a message, the more likely people are to remember it. So I actually thought it was a really smart window to drop a teaser.
Well, and Chris, here's the other thing too. Like, now that everybody under the sun knows it's coming in that general time frame, people are going to be scrambling to get their games as far away as fucking possible.
Yeah, exactly. Like, they determine a release schedule. Like, they're so huge. Like, guys like us, we look at the release schedule and like, where can we slip in and just have a week of dead time around our release? Rockstar will be like, whatever day they want, and then that becomes
any day.
Any day, all the days. And everyone just has to kind of work around
It's
them.
Red Dead Redemption year.
But I mean that's a great point. And the same thing happened to Fallout 4 last year and Rise of the Tomb Raider, right? Like Rise of the Tomb Raider got released right on top of Fallout 4 and it got fucking creamed.
Totally.
And the same thing is going to happen to whatever game comes out on the same. Like, I would be really interested. Like, once we know what the hard release date is,
like the Game of the Year Battleborn, if that comes out at the same time as Red Dead Redemption 2, I don't think it's going to perform as well.
Randy Pitchford is never coming on this show.
They're going to time their free-to-play Switch with them. Yeah.
Oh, that was brutal. But no, really. I mean, like I will be really interested to know what the release date is, because literally the only game in the fall that is going to be able to go toe to toe with that is Call of Duty. That's it. That's all there is.
Yep. Call of Duty, FIFA, Madden. Those are like the that can compete with.
And honestly, I'll take Red Dead Redemption 2 over Call of Duty any fucking day of the week.
Obviously.
Any fucking day of the week.
It's been 6.5 years since Red Dead Redemption 1.
Can you believe that shit, dude?
6.5 years. Yeah.
What a great and the other thing is that apparently it's coming to PlayStation Now, so if you're on PS4, you'll be able to play Red Dead Redemption.
The PS3 shitty version.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I would love. That's one of those. That's one of those few games that I would love a remaster of.
Yes, dude.
Right along with Dead Space. Give me a Dead Space remaster and a Red Dead Redemption remaster.
I would. Oh man, I would love to play Red Dead again. I mean, obviously you could play it backwards compatible on Xbox One, and the 360 version was the good version. But
I just I want to play that scene again where you're riding into Mexico for the first time and you hear Jose Gonzalez come over your speakers and it's playing that song.
Did I tell you guys I blew that scene? Like, I messed it up.
Oh God, what happened?
It's like, I knew someone had mentioned when you ride into Mexico, it's like this amazing moment. They didn't spoil it for me, but I knew it was coming. So I was like really careful the whole game. I was like looking forward to it, and then you cross the river. And I think I got on my horse, but I'm really OCD. So I got on the horse for 2 seconds. I got off to save my game. But I guess getting off the horse, it had already triggered the song, so it just so the song didn't play. I just rode, and there was just that silence. I was like, "What the fuck? That's it?" And then I looked up on YouTube later. I'm like, "What the hell?"
Damn shame, dude.
But I did get the second similar sequence, if you guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
The second really good, and that one was really good.
Red Dead has one of the best endings in games. Even though it's not technically the ending because there's more after that, but you know what I mean.
I remember that, dude. Yeah. I knew it was coming, and I was watching my wife play because she was stoked about the trailer today, and she's a huge Red Dead Redemption fan. My wife's a huge nerd, just like I am, and she was playing it, and that scene happens right near the end. We all know what I'm talking about, and she's like.
You know it's coming, dude. The build-up is perfect.
But the thing is she thought
it's straight ripped off of one of the Clint Eastwood movies. The Good, the Bad.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, but I don't know. I'm so
it's done well in interactive form because you have to push open the barn doors and.
But it's better that you know that it's coming because you don't know exactly when, but you know. Oh, it's so good. I love when movies or games are able to pull that off.
Yeah, it's such a great fucking feeling. And man, watching that fucking trailer today, when the stagecoach rolls past that general store and you get the guy leaning into it, I was like, this is motherfucking Red Dead Redemption right here. Dude, I can't fucking wait.
It looks so good. The foggy foresty area looks.
Well,
so
the shot of the bonfire.
Where is it set? Because it looks further north and further west to me, but I'm not.
Well, the map leaked. You saw that, right? The map leaked.
Okay.
Are we sure that's?
Yeah, they're pretty sure.
It looks pretty fucking legit, yeah.
And it looks pretty similar. So it's a large swaths of it are set in the same area that Red Dead Redemption is. You got the Great Plains and so which again, you got
pine trees and mountains and stuff.
Yeah, well, but that stuff was in Red Dead Redemption as well. Like,
yeah, that's true. Okay.
Yeah, when you're going up to and there's a bear, But
Jeff's hoping for Canada.
Jeff,
come on, that's okay. I can wait till the next one.
I didn't think Canada had that much of a Wild West.
It had a pretty Wild West.
It did actually. The movie,
all of Alberta and Saskatchewan, it was like some crazy stuff that went down.
And it's still that way.
He knows his Canada. Yeah, no, the movie The Assassination of Jesse James with Brad Pitt was actually filmed where I live in this city here.
And if you guys are excited about Westerns, don't watch The Magnificent Seven.
Oh, no.
Is it really? That's disappointing.
It's a movie that has actors.
That's kind of
truer words have never been spoken. I just realized I've been gesturing this whole podcast with like a bullet in my hand. I've got this freaking old 7.52 right here. Put that down. But I'm like, why am I holding this? But yeah, no. Red Dead Redemption 2 looks fucking awesome. And yeah,
I'm a little worried.
Why? Why would you be worried?
GTA 5 was so successful online. I think it was like 6 months ago. They said they made $500 million just in microtransactions online. It was named in some lawsuit. I forget who leaked it. But if they've had that much success with the microtransactions, it would almost be impossible not to expect them to litter the multiplayer gameplay. And
as long as the story's good, they can do whatever the fuck they want to the multiplayer. That to me, that's just a bonus if it's good.
But your focus has to go somewhere, right? And if it's that lucrative, there's got to be some more time spent on there than in prior games.
Yeah,
but
I'm just a little worried.
Team, they're not going to take it's not going to come at the expense of content in the main team. It's a different group of people that are going to be handling that stuff.
I hope that's the case.
Well, I mean, like so far we haven't gotten any single player DLC for GTA 5.
And I don't expect we will.
Yeah, I don't expect we either. But I mean, that's clearly what their cow is now. It's not the theme to DLC, really cool, spectacular. Like it was almost an event when GTA DLC came out. It's like, oh
yeah,
man,
dude, I remember when Ballad of Gay Tony came out. It was a huge deal.
Yeah, yeah. Like Lost to the Dam was some of the coolest stuff, and that was right around when like Sons of Anarchy was like really popular.
Yeah,
and talking about it. Like GTA used to be a cool thing, and now it's just like, oh, there's like 3 new cars on GTA.
They added like Mod Nation stuff to, they added like Trackmania stuff to GTA.
It would be crazy not to do something similar to Undead Nightmare, because Undead Nightmare is one of the best pieces of DLC I've ever played. That was I almost loved it more than Red Dead Redemption itself, almost.
You know what I wish for is an updated control scheme, because I still feel like the GTA games don't play as well as I wish they would.
Red Dead, I feel like GTA 5 was a small step back in combat mechanics from Red Dead. Small step.
I don't want to hold X anymore.
I just want them to fix John
you don't
Marston's...
have to. In GTA 5, they made it so you can press a button to run.
I just want them to fix John Marston's running animation, because as much as I love
it, looked ridiculous.
It looked like he was holding in a huge turd the entire game.
Yep.
And if
it wasn't as bad as Gabe Logan or whatever back in the Siphon filter.
Bad, dude. Like
Siphon.
Back when Siphon.
Siphon filter.
But like every time John Marston ran, I'm just like chuckling to myself, because I knew that if I ran down the street like that, they'd be like, "Get to a bathroom, man. I hope you make it." And if you tap if you tapped in like one direction of John, he would like lurch forward like he was having a problem, And
what I really liked in Red Dead was like the treasure maps that you had to find. So you get the treasure map and you would have to actually. No, those were so cool,
those
dude.
Were awesome.
Maybe you sucked at finding.
Maybe I did just suck at them.
But like if you were paying attention to the world, it was actually really cool.
Did Black Flag copy that?
So many open world games, you're just following the icon on the mini map. And you're not even paying attention to your surroundings. But Red Dead forced you to like really get immersed in the world and find real actual landmarks, and they had rewards for you.
Man, I don't want to think. I just want my shooty bang. That's all I want.
Yeah, but I mean, like open world games have regressed from.
They really have.
Now you're gonna buy a shark card and trick out your horse.
Yeah, exactly. Dude.
I'm looking forward to the horse horse armor DLC in Red Dead Redemption 2. That's going to be really cool. All right, let's. We got about 15 minutes left. Let's talk about the Switch.
The Switch.
Let's switch it up.
Let's talk about your favorite console.
Yeah. Oh, so this is the way I I felt like Nintendo sold the Switch better in 3 minutes than Sony did the PS4 in an hour, or the PS4 Pro in an hour.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
period.
It's not very hard.
Down.
Instantly, if you watch the NX or reveal, whatever, the Switch reveal, you will know instantly if it's something that appeals to you.
Well, and they make no bones about it. They're like, here's what it does. This is what it is. This is everything you can do with it. And as much as I love Mark Cerny, I mean, Mark,
he's talking about RAM and
fucking pixels, and I'm just like, okay, that's cool, fuck. But the Switch is, it's Nintendo innovating again.
It's the Wii U done right.
What I like about it is that it's simple. There's no Wiimote. There's no gamepad with like moving. It's just like, here it is, and there's these controllers, and you plug it in, then you take it out and you play games, and that's it.
Yeah,
the Wii U is supposed to be kind of like a portable gaming system, but the problem with the Wii U is I couldn't even take the tablet into the bathroom with me.
Yeah, you can't go 5 feet.
The connection would cut out.
If I can't play Mario Kart while I'm taking a shit,
basically,
what's the point?
Yeah.
What's the point of taking a shit and Mario Kart?
I mean, and if you can't play Mario Kart, what's the point of shitting at all? I mean, it
drop
just
in a
doesn't
shell.
make any sense.
The real knowledge bombs here.
I know, or yeah, that's what people come to this podcast for. But and here's the it looks like a premium product.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a Fisher Price toy anymore.
Exactly. That's what when the Wii U came out, I was like, I picked up a gamepad. I was like, I'm gonna break this damn thing.
Yeah, I was just packing up my Wii U gamepad today, actually, and I was like, dude, I can't believe they actually released this thing.
Baby's first console.
What were they thinking with that, dude? I don't know.
But I mean,
retrospect, I mean, we can all say that, but I'm really excited about the Switch. I feel like I've been a big proponent of handhelds. I play a lot of handhelds whenever I'm on the go, especially. They're the perfect thing to put in your bag, and I have no shame anymore about playing in public and stuff. I'm gonna do what I want. I'm gonna do.
You're a grown ass man.
Yeah, I get so sick and tired of all the people Pokemon shaming. Is oh, this freaking all these people on Facebook. Yeah. And so I'm super excited to be able to go somewhere and play a console quality title like a Zelda on the go again, an actual mainline Zelda, not
Breath of the Wild looks so good.
Spirit track.
It really does. I mean,
it looks so good.
Fire
and that new Mario,
all the series, yeah, Mario Kart. I mean, everything. This is the most excited I've been about a Nintendo console since since the 64.
Breath of the Wild looks like a pretty easy lock for Game of the Year next year.
Breath of the Wild.
Red Dead is obviously going to get delayed.
And dude, if that launches, is Breath of the Wild going to launch with this thing?
Yeah,
sounds like it is
supposed to.
Oh,
it better.
God.
It sounded like it was almost ready, but they basically delayed it because they didn't want to put it out on Wii U before the NX.
That would be.
It better be polished as fuck. Is all I can say.
It looks fucking awesome. And dude, if this launches with a full-fledged Zelda game and what looks like basically the successor to Mario 64, because it's got I don't know if you guys noticed, but it's got the hearts in the corner. It's got the So this looks like it looks like Mario 64 done to the nth degree, and I
cannot wait to play a Monster Hunter on this console. That's gonna be the end all be all. See you later. So, I might stop playing Rocket League.
I was gonna say one of the things I'm most excited about is because I know everyone's excited that you can take this on the go. I'm kind of the opposite. I don't really play portable stuff ever. I haven't touched my Vita or 3DS in a year. But I'm sick of I don't play my 3DS, so games like Mario Golf or Animal Crossing, they come out on the 3DS, and I'm I bought my Wii U because I thought I'd be getting these games on there. So what I'm hoping is that all their development now just goes on this one system. People want to play on the go can play on the go.
That's what it's going to be. That's what it's going to be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is beautiful.
The 3DS will be getting sunsetted.
So like JT said, a Monster Hunter on that thing on my TV is going to look so nice.
Well, and I want to, I want to ask Chris something about the Switch, because Chris, you're a dev, and so as opposed to the Xbox One and the PS4, which are just they're great at what they do. They're video game consoles, and they don't break the mold in any remarkable way. They're boxes that play really pretty video games. They both do the exact same thing. I mean, they each have their things that one or the other can do, but for the most part, they're pretty damn similar. As a dev, how does something like this change the game for developers, in your opinion? Because from portable couch fucking co-op, that's huge. And something like this, I mean, this like, do you feel like this could be a potential game changer for Nintendo from a dev's point, like strictly from a dev point of view?
Well, I mean, the dev point of view is honestly, like, especially indie, you want to get your game out on as many consoles as you can, or as makes sense. So, that Nintendo's coming out with this is exciting in and of itself, because it's just another avenue to, get your game out there and get it in people's hands. I'm a huge fan of like old school, like brawlers and that kind of thing. Buddies of mine just released Viking Squad on PlayStation and Steam, and that's a super fun, like, Castle Crashers kind of like lane-based brawler. And so the possibility to do like couch co-op that isn't strictly couch co-op, on a console is appealing, I think, especially for that genre. And I hope that like more people jump on it and take advantage of that, because it's a super fun like style of game that not very many people are doing anymore.
I mean, that's so like do you think that devs are more interested in kind of Nintendo breaking you, like, basically, in your opinion, do you think devs are disappointed that it's probably not going to pack the same kind of power as the Xbox One or the PS4 do? Because I mean, let's face it, it's not going to.
Some studios might, and I think maybe particularly for AAA guys who are working on like Red Dead Redemption and the rest of it, performance is a big thing, because the games are sold on this massive complexity and fidelity of assets and all of that. But, if you said earlier that you've been playing mostly indie games, and, many of those games are not technically demanding on the hardware. They're usually about like one or two important ideas, and then, the implementation, ranges in terms of how complex or how demanding it is on the hardware. So I think it's less relevant now than it was before the sort of like proliferation of smaller and mid-sized developers. But maybe it's a bigger consideration for larger companies that require that kind of processing power to get their experiences across, if that makes sense.
Well, no, it makes perfect.
Epic did say today that they're going to support Unreal Engine 4 on Switch. So at least that's a big middle.
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, there's a lot of Unreal games.
Well, and like, so let me ask the entire group this. What do you guys think how do you think this is going to be received by the mainstream? Like, because the Wii U was an abject failure. I mean, there's nobody who can argue that it wasn't, and Nintendo knows it. And I feel like their marketing today, they're very, very clear-cut marketing, as opposed to the really muddled and confusing marketing that kind of preceded the Wii U. I felt like it was much more on point, and I felt like they were more focused. So do you guys feel like this is going to resonate more with the mainstream and possibly kind of reinvigorate their console side? Because I do feel like this is their last chance for hardware.
If they can put Pokemon on this thing with the success of Pokemon Go, it's going to blow up. So Pokemon Go proves that people are still like not only nostalgic, but they like the new kids who don't know what Pokemon are excited for Pokemon.
Yeah. Not only that, but Pokemon Go. Sorry, I don't mean to jump in, but it proves it proves that people are open to new ways of experiencing those games. Yeah. And who would have thought people running around town looking at the world through their phone would have caught on, right?
And not only that, like we saw I think ever since Pokemon Go launched, 3DS sales have been up. And Pokemon game sales have been up. Like, it got people back into that. Whether or not it was a direct cause, it seems pretty obvious that it did have an impact on it.
Yeah, I mean, so that just shows like Nintendo's IP strength has not gone away. It's just nobody wants to invest in these consoles. I don't know why. Like they see all these different things that are wrong with it, but I think this could be like the jumping back in point for a lot of people with Nintendo, especially.
When I feel like this, oh, no, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Who's going to talk?
No, I was going to say, sorry to jump in. We have some breaking news on Twitter.
Oh, what is it?
Nintendo has told the Wall Street Journal there will be no announcements on games, titles, or specs this year.
That's the wrong move.
So we aren't going to know if that's Splatoon 2 or if that's just a port of the first one. We aren't going to know if Skyrim's actually coming to the Switch. We don't know what that new Mario game is.
I don't like it.
And it's supposed to launch in March.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
Speculation.
I was listening to the Kind of Funny guys today, and they made a really good point about this very thing, man. And they said, because what Sony did wrong with the Vita was that they said, "Oh, this is great. Look how awesome it is. Look what you do with it, and they didn't talk about any of the fucking downsides. They, you know, like we bought it, and then all of a sudden you've got fucking severe memory constraints. You've got to spend $99 or something on a fucking memory card. I mean, there's just the Vita. As much as we love it, I mean, JT and I are in Vita Island, but the Vita had a lot of downsides when it released, and Sony didn't talk about any of that. And I feel like, and they thought that was a bad move, and they were hoping that Nintendo would just kind of come out right away, talk about the price, talk about, okay, this. I mean, how long are the batteries going to last? You know, like
they said a whole day, didn't they?
Did they?
Really?
I'm pretty sure it said a whole day.
I don't remember the talking about the batteries.
What is that though? Like a whole day? That's not 24 hours.
Maybe
yeah, what is
that?
that? Yeah,
I must be
12
thinking of
hours?
something
Is it
else.
8 hours?
I must have saw marketing for something else, and now I'm getting.
I mean, what kind of memory? I mean, it's using cartridges. What kind of memory is this thing going to have? I mean, you know, how do I connect to the internet? Like, am I going to?
That's a huge thing. Is will they finally step into the modern age on their, you know, internet?
Yeah.
platform?
Oh, I know what I was thinking of. I was thinking of the new Google phone. That was advertised as having batteries.
There you go.
Sorry, there's too much shit getting revealed today, dude. I can't.
But no, I mean, JT hit the nail on the head. Like, I mean, you know, aside from like collector's editions on my PS4, I download everything. I am completely immersed in like movies, games. I do everything digital because I've got kicking internet. But if I don't have kicking internet, I mean, like, I'm really curious to know what kind of storage, because there was a rumor floating around, and I don't know if this is true or not. There's a rumor floating around that the Switch has 32 gigabytes of storage, and I'm like, that's a fucking disaster.
Yeah.
Just make it have an SD card, and you'll be fine. Like, boom,
but I
right
mean,
there.
well, I mean, but speaking, okay, but how does that cost? I mean, how much does the console itself cost? Do you guys think? I mean,
$299 minimum with
$299.
I guess
it's got to. I'm going to say $250.
No, too cheap.
No,
the
I
Wii is
think-
still $250, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think
no, the
$299
Wii's $299 actually, which is fucking unbelievable.
Ridiculous.
But
I
insane.
don't know. The hardware looks really nice. The screen looks nice. I don't see it being under $299.
Will you guys buy that at $299 on day one?
Yeah.
If the games are there.
Yeah, I
The
will.
games are there is always my metric. I have to want to play something on it to own it.
I am a little bit worried about the games because all they showed us in the trailer was Breath of the Wild, what seemed like a sport of Platoon, Skyrim, which, I mean, it's good, but...
I mean, Zelda is the killer app. And
Yeah, I was buying one
it's
for
safe
Zelda
to
regardless.
assume that it's probably going to be a launch title.
Jesse,
But, like, if you have a Wii U, you can already play Zelda.
Jesse in chat says rumors are the battery life is mediocre. He's just reporting what Laura Kale said. And he says she's been pretty good about rumors as far as I know, which I believe she has. Multiverse Mob in chat says $199. There's no fucking way.
No fucking
no.
way.
No way. That would be amazing, but no. I think anybody expecting this thing, like there's been a lot of chatter on Twitter about, oh, this is Nintendo's big comeback, and you know it's going to be the Wii all over again. No, let's shut that down right now.
It's not going to be the Wii. Yeah, no,
This
that
thing's
was
not going to do Wii sales. That was a flash in the pan. That was a once in a lifetime thing.
Yeah, I think it has the potential to have mass appeal like the Wii, but only if the games are there and if there aren't any major drawbacks to it, like the battery life.
Well, what's interesting though is
Pokemon.
that commercial was a very adult-oriented commercial as opposed to like commercials for the Wii. You know, like it was. You didn't see any kids playing it. You know, you didn't see any children playing it. It was all adults on the go.
Yeah.
At fucking roof parties.
Early
you know, like,
to
oh
mid-
hey, let me
early
bring
to
my.
mid-20s
That
mostly.
That commercial made me want their houses more than it
Yeah,
made
really. This 25-year-old wealthy architect living in sitting there playing Breath of the Wild. He lives in the future, and he's like, and I didn't even know where the fuck he's going. He's like, oh man, I gotta be somewhere, so I'll just take my
walk his dog.
Yeah, I gotta walk my dog, and so I can't bear to leave my Switch here. So I'm just gonna walk my dog and bring my Switch with me, and then it's like, it switches to this lady, and she's playing like fucking Mario Kart. Well, by the way, King Boo, is that Double Dash?
It looked like you had double items, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I hear my wife like yelling up. She's playing Overwatch. I can hear her.
Nice.
She's yelling in fury upstairs. But like it's like they brought it over to the block party or not the block, but the roof party. Everybody's like, oh man, it's like okay, come on. Like I love commercials like this because if I brought my Nintendo console to a root party, my bros would be like, "Get that fucking shit
You'd be
out
playing
of
it by
here, dude.
yourself.
Are you fucking kidding me? Like, what are you doing? Like, nobody wants to do that shit. We're playing pool." I'd be like, "Oh, sorry guys, put it away." But,
maybe I'll be like, "Oh, sweet, you can join our LAN party."
Yeah, right. Yeah, well, I don't know.
Yeah, I need friends like that.
Going to the wrong place.
Yeah, I'm actually.
Here's the other half of my console. Let's
I
play a thing on my analog stick and 4 buttons.
And full, well, in full disclosure, I don't go to a lot of parties because I don't have a lot of friends. But anyway,
And I was thinking what might play into its favor is actually the failure of the Wii U might help it because I know. I didn't own it. I owned an N64, and then I didn't buy another console till the Wii U. I didn't have a GameCube or a Wii, and that didn't turn out well. But I was like really excited to get back into Nintendo. And I think a lot of people, the Wii U was confusing. Lots of the more mainstream audience, they didn't know if it was a new console or like a Wii edition at first, and then it got bad word of mouth, and everyone just said the Wii U doesn't have any games, don't buy it. So I think like if the Switch comes out to really good reception, it's got some really good games. I think there's going to be a lot of people that maybe haven't bought a Nintendo system in 10 years, and they're like, all right, I'm ready to like get back in with Nintendo.
Yo, Bayonetta 3. I'm in.
That'll sell 500,000 copies.
I will be 450,000 of them.
Well, and I also want to point out, From Software is going to be supporting the Switch. For me, that is a big deal.
Yeah.
So hopefully we get some Dark Souls on the go.
As long as the frame rate is good, I can't.
It won't. It won't.
Bad Dark Souls and Bloodborne frame rate are brutal.
It won't be. I still have very vivid memories of 5 frames a minute probably down at Blighttown. So I
played it on PC in a smooth locked 60.
Oh, nice! I had the PowerPoint Blighttown as well.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. But
those mosquitoes like sniping you.
Oh god, that was the worst. And then
Future,
the giants throw the rocks and you're in the mud and you don't know where you're going.
Yeah.
And
I mean, that shit sucked even on PC at 60. I can't even imagine it at 15.
it was that was the true that was the true Dark Souls right there. If you weren't playing Blighttown at 10 frames a second, you were playing Dark Souls.
And Orlando was no picnic either, trying to balance on those fucking balustrades or whatever.
Oh yeah, when the knights are shooting arrows at you. Yeah, that was good. That was good times.
Good times.
When I first got my first heart palpitations, actually. But we're getting long in the tooth, so we'll go ahead and cut it off here. A few things I need to say real quick before we get off. One, on sale soon, guys. There it is. It's here.
So good.
It's here, and there's going to be multiple designs, multiple colors. If you like a little Metal Gear Solid flare, you can get that one with the logo on it that says "Such a Lust for SDGC." That's available. Just the word, you can get it with just the word. So there's going to be multiple options. But I'm here. It's real and it's spectacular. So there it is. Thank you to Diego for this amazing fucking design. Just good shit. And the mugs are coming as well within the next week. So we got our mugs. Now you can drape us over your bodies and fill us with your hot, steamy liquid, and it's going to be great. It's going to be great. You guys will love it.
With a pitch like that, who can
How could you not? How could you not? Just you could put us on and rub us all over your chest hair. It'd be great. But the other thing I want to bring up is so I wrote an article about anxiety and my experience with it on superdeformedgamescast.com, which I highly suggest you visit the website, check out all our fucking awesome reviews and articles. And so starting Monday for 3 weeks, we're going to do a kind of a 3-part series and bringing in people who listen to the show who are afflicted with all forms of anxiety from social to health. And they're going to talk about their experiences and how gaming, among other things, helps them cope. I'm going to be on there.
That's a cool topic.
Yeah, no, it's going to be great, and we got a really cool response for it from our small but very loyal, very awesome community. And so it'll give people a chance, like myself. I've battled with anxiety my entire life, severe health anxiety. And it'll give people a chance to come on here and talk about their experiences and kind of let go and talk as a group and just talk about how gaming helps us cope and how we can help each other cope, because anxiety is a terrible thing to live with. And I know a few people on the podcast as well deal with their own forms of anxiety, and I won't time you out unless you want to be timed out. But But yeah, it's gonna be good stuff. So Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is gonna be our first episode, and then we'll have 2 more after that. It's not gonna be a permanent thing. I just want to kind of get it out there and give some people a chance to talk about their experiences. It'll be good. It'll be great. So please look out for that. Like I said, shirts and mugs are coming. What was that?
John, sorry to jump back to the shirts. We just had someone in chat request Eat the Dead wants a shirt of Gabe's dog.
Oh, dude, that's
Also an
fucking
idea.
brilliant.
And a Duke and Battleborn shirt.
And we need a Duke and Battleborn shirt as well. We gotta get that happening.
Yes, that's fun. Okay, yeah, no, dude, I'm getting Diego on that immediately. By the way, Diego is also working on a logo for a shirt for the podcast. It is in the Metal Gear Solid, the original Metal Gear Solid font, and underneath it says "Tactical Podcasting Action."
Yeah, that was awesome.
It's gonna be sick. So we got that. I love the Gabe shirt. I love it, dude. That's gonna be amazing. And I want it. And since Gabe's dog is so terrifying, I want it to be like kind of like the Resistance games. You know, because he's like a fucking chimera.
The Resistance 3 cover.
Yeah, I'm just right now. Your dog looks like an enemy.
He kind of looks like those Red Eye Knights from Demon Souls.
A little bit, he does, dude. Yeah, I like it. No, that what a
She
great
does.
idea that is. So we're gonna have she does.
Okay, the black one is the male.
Oh, you're buying out pretty bad, man. That Brazilian internet, it's coming back to haunt you. You sounded so good at the beginning too. What?
Yeah, man, it's come and go, and I probably gonna.
It's fine, man. We still love RoboGabe. Yeah. So did that, and the hashtag Duke and Battleborn shirt is fucking mint. I guarantee you that's gonna happen. But yeah, we got the shirts coming. We got the mugs coming. We're gonna talk about all our fucking problems next Monday. Everybody can air that shit out. And please don't forget to visit our sister podcast, Basement Radio Arcade. Sam Tolbert, who was a fan of the show and he became a member of their podcast. He's in chat right now. They go live every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you can also check them out on Twitter as well. Chris, thank you so much for coming on, man. Seriously, dude, we had a fucking blast talking to you, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me, guys.
No, it was a great fucking time, dude, and we really appreciate you. We got a few big next week, next Thursday. We have Susan Arendt, who's the executive editor of Games Radar.
Nice.
She's gonna be on the show, and then the week after that, making his first podcast appearance ever anywhere, 9volt from Twitter is going to be on the show.
Twitter's very own Battery Child.
Yep, the Battery Child is going to be on. I am very excited about that. That's going to be pretty fucking cool. Shinobi602 made his first podcast appearance here. 9volt's coming. Like, who's next, right? Like, I mean, we're innovating like Nintendo is.
We'll
you guys
pop
are
your
pulling
cherry.
all the cool people just whenever I have to be gone for a month.
I know, but it's going to be okay. Hey, you can do this on your phone. There's an app for that.
Chris will fill in.
Yeah,
There's an app for that. You can download the Google Plus app. Join us.
I might have to. I may crash some podcasts here and there.
Did Jeff just leave?
Unpacking.
Yep.
Jeff
He's
doesn't
having
love. Okay. Well, anyway, we'll go ahead and cut it off here. Again, please, please join us next week for Susan Arendt. Thanks again to Chris. And as always, it's not always poetry. We don't always agree, but we always keep it real. So until next week, we will see you guys later. Jeff came right as
Jeff's back.
Jeff's back. And we're ending the podcast.
Well,
Sorry, I was trying to switch tabs and I clicked the wrong button.
oh, nice.
All right, it's all right. We're going off the air now anyway. See you later, guys.
See ya.
Aren't you like a software engineer?